Meow. Meow.
Yeah, hi. There we go. That's not bad. No, I haven't been playing that theme all that often because I haven't been streaming on the channel enough. No, really, haven't seen the state of my streams today. Are you still awake, by the way?
Am I still awake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still awake. I've been awake for a longest time. I don't know, it's like I'm sleepy, but I'm not that sleepy yet, you know?
Hey, if you're not that sleepy
I
yet,
think I
then I'm certain this live stream about theoretical physics and abstract mathematics will surely help you stay awake.
yeah, I hope so too.
I'm certain. It's nothing quite as interesting and
I mean,
captivating.
nothing puts me to sleep as well as your streams, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's what they do. And we all know what's happening here, Patsy. You're just joining because you want to sleep with me. There's no mystery here.
I think you love it. So, theoretical physics, huh?
Exactly. All that stuff. I have 4 full cups of coffee on my desk because my coffee pot is in the
Only
dishwasher.
4?
Yeah, but it's just so inconvenient because they're all full.
What? What? Why are you full?
Well, because my coffee pot was dirty, so I made coffee in it. I poured the
Okay.
coffee into the cups and I put in the dishwasher. And it's
You
dishwasher right
binge
now.
making coffee.
Well, yeah, it's only economical. But it's just very, very inconvenient because they're all just in the way right now. I need to drink them fast.
Oh, don't be like that. That's worrying.
No, there we go. I finally found a playlist that would be great for working today. The playlist is called I'm Going to Fucking Krill My Shelf. 1 in a trillion.
What the hell is in those playlists?
The first song is called Booger Bonanza.
Oh, it's that fucking place, I see.
The second one is I Am Now Going to Bark at You. The third one is Please Do Not Listen to This Song. That's a really good one.
Now enjoy. One of those playlists.
Those days. By the way, once you
What's
fall
your-
asleep,
What?
would you like me to just like remove you from the channel? Because it does happen in the past multiple occasions, and I do remove you because I don't want you to like say something accidentally, but it just feels like I should maybe ask for permission.
I mean, probably. It's a good idea, you know? Do that.
Alright, now we can carry on with your question.
What is your thought on music you don't understand lyrics for?
I don't understand lyrics. Well, I don't listen to these kind of songs because I like singing, and I don't like not knowing what I say.
Mm. It's unfortunate. Because
Why
I'd
was
recommend for you, but I guess I won't.
what is the recommendation?
It is Japanese. Has many good music.
Hi Tess, hi, welcome. Tejas, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Can find my phone. Meow.
Yup. The song I'm listening to, please do not listen to the song, has meows in it, and you meowed actually at this just spot on. You didn't even realize it. How is Katsi dancing? Technology! Thanks to the power of modern technology, we have taught this cat to dance. Has science gone too far? Yeah, just that. Alright, this thing is rendering. I will also need to ideally finish this video, this stream, because I'm really close. But, however, and such, there are more videos to be made, because there always are. It
Just like I'm
never
really
ends.
close to falling asleep. Definitely.
Could you repeat? I didn't catch the beginning.
Just like I'm really close to falling asleep.
Exactly.
You know.
The sleepers
I-
are always just 1 minute away from falling asleep. That mean doesn't even this is a stretch. Okay.
90% of sleepers don't go to sleep just right before they're about to fall asleep.
Yeah, 99% of insomnia havers decide to pull an all-nighter 1 minute before they would actually fall asleep.
Sure.
So,
I can hear this song.
you have?
It does feel it would feel the campfires, I think.
Hold on, let me see. Oh, that's an odd word. Is that rock? Shocking. Alright. Rotations.
That rat can spin horizontally.
Exactly. Actually, I might. You know what? I've been looking for an example for rotations. It would actually be pretty funny. Just make a 3D model of a rat, and at the end of the rotations video, just apply all the maths we've been developing throughout to make a horizontally, vertically, and diagonally spinning rat. You tempt me.
That's a pretty damn good idea.
Horizontally spinning make it might actually happen in the video.
You should make like that's not the right. I should make a 3D model. No, not 3D model. Like a paper of a rat.
Oh yeah, the paper.
Make a paper and then spin it like you know with your hands.
I have a lot of electric motors. I could just
Go find like a fucking net online for like a rat. Print that out.
I can make it specifically do that for spinning rats. I bought recently a set of gears. I actually don't know where it is. I have it somewhere. Oh, there it is. I found it. Like a set of however many gears. There's a lot of them. 40 or something. And I did also buy some motors that are better for moving heavy objects.
Mm-hmm.
I love that could be the motivation for me actually making a proper doodad just to spin a rat horizontally. I really want to get into mechanics. Jeez.
Sure, you're gonna use those motors for something one day, right?
I mean, one can only dream and hope. I really want to get into mechanics, but it's really expensive.
Yeah, you're a broke boy.
Yeah, genuinely. First of all, don't call me boy. Second of all, genuinely, the best method I think I could do to get into mechanics is just buy Lego Technic. I thought about it, and even with a 3D printer. Yeah, by the way, I don't take offense to you calling me broke. Just don't call me, boy. Broke is accurate.
Broke non-binary parental figure.
Yeah, there we go. Now that is my God-given name to you. Broke non-binary parental figure. That's what you can call me. Hi there, Adrian. Adrian, what have we just been talking about? Unbelievable. No, Katsi, I can't talk right now. I have no internet.
Oh, no. I have...
No.
Now we can.
No, I have no internet. My window is showing me that I have no internet connection. We can't talk.
Well, just about as I finally able to understand what the fuck you're saying. Now you... Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. My internet.
So
No. That was my internet because for some reason my computer just got possessed by 500 angry ghosts and it just refused to even. It was brilliant because every single application that relied on internet connection, instead of just disconnecting, instead of showing the internet disconnected something, it just stopped working. It stopped responding, which was quite something. Hi there, Remco.
Now that's funny.
Hi there,
Remco.
Yeah. You know why I'm actually talking about vectors.
You know what? Miraculously, I feel less tired now. So maybe you can even play some chess. Anyway.
You tempting mistress. All right.
What the fuck was I saying before your internet gave out? Can you remind me?
I was actually saying something. It was new. I was saying that I find it hilarious how I thought about it for a fair bit of a long time, and Lego Technic, despite it just being a toy, is still the best thing to get into mechanics because there is no good way to actually make custom gears that work on small scales, and at the same time, you don't only need gears, you also need parts connecting them, and you need them to be standardized to build stuff out of them. And Lego just fulfills all requirements, and I find it hilarious.
You're probably damn fucking right with that statement, honestly.
I genuinely cannot think of a single machine I could get that would make good gears, because
and the motors too. Or I guess motors are free always anyway.
The motors I have destroyed. It's nice that they're standardized. It's because my printer, for example, it could make the parts connecting the gears, but the printing when you print with the standard printing method, the friction is just really high, and the gears straight up melt. And that sucks. They break. So what you need is
So what you're saying is whatever Lego gears are made out of is perfect type of plastic for it.
It's not about type of plastic. It's about the method that they're made. So basically, it's called injection, I think. I don't remember what it's called exactly. But you know how incredibly smooth Lego parts are. Well, the reason why is because when you're making stuff with plastic, normally on large scale, the way you do it is you get a mold, and then you inject plastic into that mold, and then it solidifies. So it's kind of like printing the whole part all in one. Whilst 3D printers just do it layer by layer, and because of that, you have the surface is really rough, and it doesn't do well with friction.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and so it just works. And I one day, once we actually get to engineering, I am going to just straight up buy Technic, and we're just gonna have a couple of streams where I just build doodads and contraptions. Hi there, figure. How you doing?
Also, I guess it doesn't really apply. Never mind. Meow.
What?
Also, you can like 3D print some like legal Lego parts,
Yeah, you can.
but
It it
I
does
guess
work.
yes, not really the point.
The
Like,
only issue is with the parts that static that aren't moving. It's even in my opinion better to 3D print them because it's just more custom. But
yeah,
the issue are the parts that are moving, and the issue is that you also need both of them. It's not like you could just only have the gears. 'Cause
I guess you can't really fucking. There is no way to get like a better structure in 3D than to just fucking buy Lego. Like, especially
actually,
the fucking uh, long plus axes. Those ones, like you can fucking 3D print that.
actually,
It's
hold
gonna be
on.
like fucking dog shit now.
I think you just gave me an idea. Because yes, long axes. That's what I was thinking. Like I can't make long axes precisely due to the friction issue. The axes would melt, but I don't
That's why you
actually
get them
need.
with Lego.
I don't actually need the long axes.
You get
So
do they?
this is the kit I have, and it was really cheap, like less than $10. I don't remember how much exactly, but it was cheap. What I've realized is that if I just make knobs, professional scientific term, attached to the 3D bits, I could just put the gears onto the knobs, and the friction would slow them down, but it wouldn't melt the plastic off. And them being slow, that I'm not concerned with. I mean, my goodness, they're plastic gears, obviously they're not gonna be fast. But at least it won't break and fall apart. I am considering. But first, my job, then we can work on taxi.
You could also buy a hilarious component that's the long plus axis but metal. If you wanna your gears to break first instead.
There are loads of options. I'm doing okay. I rolled my ankle pretty last Sunday, and I mean, it's getting better, but it's so annoying. Oof. I'm sorry to hear that. See ya, Adrian. Bye. Yeah, honestly, the kids these days, they have no respect for their elders. Unbelievable. Okay, so cross product. I know how a cross product works. I actually don't know what I just realized that. What am I looking for here? I know how it works.
Meow.
Okay. I have an idea. What I'm going to do is, well, first of all, I should just finish the video. Yuck. But instead, I'm going to get distracted instantly.
Of course.
it's just easier. And I'm going to
There's
make...
nothing as good as plant destruction.
Exactly. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to you can knock this off. I really want to get into mechanics. I find it so fun to do. And engineering in general. I like science, but I mean engineering has its
Yeah.
because what the fuck is that? I mean, I can see the appeal, don't get me wrong, but what?
Would you like me to be your emotional support animal?
That's an odd thing to say.
Well.
I can't even tell if it's a good or a bad pickup line at this point.
Those are some nice gears you got there. Kiev.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't work.
Oh yeah, those are like Lego.
Well, I mean, yeah, the same material. Not Lego gears, but the same idea.
Yeah.
There we go. Got the idea. So we have this. Now what I would like to do is try to have 3 arrows. This one, this one, and this one. And they will be the first arrow, the second arrow, and the cross product of the two. Cross product, yes. Cross product, 2 arrows, which would look like this. I said, which would look like this. So that third one is the cross product. So we have it on a 3 plane, it obviously works like this. There we are. The question I'm having is, because okay, describing rotations using a vector is easy, considering well the obvious idea. Considering how the 2 information you effectively need for rotation is the axis around which it's rotating and the amount of rotation, both which are given by a vector if you consider it as a unit vector multiplied by a scalar. Now, the question is,
Well, in that case.
case in that well, exactly. So, okay, let's first note down the definition of the cross. A sig bike. Who has the time to? Can you reflect both the OG vectors? Do elaborate. How do you mean? Found the reference. You also know what I found, Remco, today? It was from someone in the comments mentioning it, but I found this. Today, when I'm finally too tired to actually work, I was planning on looking into this.
Looking into this. That's your DMs. I didn't mean to say. Never mind. Anyway, close enough.
There's some joke about I have no son or whatever. All right.
Correct. You have no son. You have a daughter.
Yeah, it works spin. Well, I imagine, but yeah, hold on. What was I looking into? Now is not the. Oh my goodness! I shouldn't be getting distracted. That's weird. I usually only get distracted when I'm deep in the manic breakdown.
What's that? Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
No. Alright, so, what am I looking for? Right, the definition of a cross, which is in fact the triple, no one has the time to write these, so it's x, y minus, wait no, it's not x, y minus, it's, oh, fuck, famously pleasant operation to work with. It's going to be
Pleasant.
VW minus XYYX. This one is Y. Yeah, so it's two of them swapped in orientations, correct? Also, I don't know if it's... Oh, because it's asymmetric, because... this is horrendous. Whatever, who gives a shit? Close enough. We'll figure out the details later. No, I shouldn't. I need to. VW minus VW, and it is YZ ZY. Okay. Let's just think. I know, horrible, right? Thinking, but let's think.
I think. No, you don't.
Sometimes I think, but then I forget. Okay. Indie clown music saved me. We can think of it in terms of areas. Is that useful? Because that would give us the big rectangle minus a small rectangle. And then this right here is what we're actually concerned with. Is this useful? Is the answer? Why don't you stay for a change? Okay. Next question to ask would be, because, okay, so effectively the idea is that the higher the cross, right, the higher this, the higher the spin, the higher the rotation. The question you're trying to answer is, why?
Spin? What the hell is spin?
God, no idea. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. Does the audience sleeps forever?
Meow.
Hmm. My mind's gone blank. I can't relate the two. I mean, okay. I'm thinking about it all. Okay. We have this scenario, then we should think of it in terms of big area and small area. Right. Now, what we should realize is that the small area is actually purely independent of the big area. Or to be more specific, that's what we need to do. The two areas aren't actually dependent on each other in any way, which means we can break it down. Oh, I might have something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, goodness. Oh, if my line of thinking is correct right now, I have struck gold. If because it is from it you're subtracting. Because the way we can think about it is we can think about this as being our magnitude distance. They don't have to mean the same thing. But then flipping them becomes all of a sudden really counterintuitive. No, Susie, that's no. I'm thinking.
Why are you talking to Susie?
Who else am I supposed to talk to? I need someone on my level, you know. And the only one on my level is a brainless mannequin.
It's not like you have like a cat in your room or anything.
The cat is dead. You're not in my room. There's no matter how many times you try to break it.
Or am I?
Buy me some dinner first, my goodness. Honestly, guys out there think they can buy me. They're not wrong, but at least like punch up the price or something, you know. Okay. The only thing I'm missing would be relating the area of a rectangle to a circumference of a circle. I like sharing certain bits of my thinking process without the context of the entire thinking process, because what I said is mental. Geometry, the anti-symmetric property. Yes, that is true, Remco. But if we disregard that, I think I may have something bang on as long as I get this. As long.
What did the Jews do to deserve this?
That's so dumb. It's the anti-Semitic, you groupoid. No, not disregard the minus sign. What do you mean? I'm not disregarding the minus sign. Like, the interpretation I'm laying down will still work for anti-commutativity. It will just not have a good intuition. The only thing I'm missing is relating area of a rectangle to a circumference of a circle.
Is that what the silly number pi is for?
I don't know if it's gonna work in this scenario, unfortunately.
Oh.
Let's try some things.
You should know a lot about pies, you know?
Gross.
What do you mean?
I don't. There's only one way I thought you would go with that joke, and
What do you think I'm referring to?
considering your track record. Exactly.
Okay. Slice of pie, you weirdo.
Okay. So right here, this gives us a rectangle. This, however, is the value we have, and then circle, mesh circle, radius, join. Oh, that's big. If only I had a nickel, am I right?
That's big. I mean, if you say so.
It's average, no?
Aren't you the ultimate authority on large things? Yeah. The drone really has. The rectangle goes in the circular hole.
This is real science done by real scientists. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit torn on this because I don't know how to relate the two, and I desperately need to relate them. Their lights.
You couldn't relate.
I can't relate. But it shows you have nobody. What if? I'm just hearing out on this. What if?
Hear you out.
Hear me out.
Come on, buy me some dinner first.
That one I didn't even follow. I just. For a given radius, what happened to my brother? For a given radius, we can get both the area and circumference, which means there's a way for us to relate the area of a circle with a circumference, right? Because pi r squared is our area, and 2 pi r is our circumference, which means that if we find the
You can't say circumference without
having fun. You can't say advertisements without the semen between the tits.
Yeah.
There we go. Then if we multiply it by pi, multiply it by 2, I think I fucked something up because that feels. Oh, maybe it doesn't.
Well, you gotta to fuck it back down, I guess.
Yeah. This is good. This can work. Wait, no, this looks so wrong. What the fuck am I talking about? What? Hold on. You multiply both together, right? You divide by pi, right? You root. So, huh? Huh? What? How is this? I am so confused. These two should have the same area? What's happening? Oh my goodness, it's radius, not. There we go. Yeah. No, that still looks wrong. What is happening to me?
I'm crazy. No, you're crazy.
pi r squared. That's the equation for the area of a circle, right? Am I losing my mind?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that mean if you have an area, then dividing it by pi and then taking square root would give you the radius of that circle?
Yeah.
Oh, because
That
then you
should be
just,
the case.
because that's plugs in the radius. Okay, there we go. Now it's correct. All right. And we're not even going to offset it this time. Instead we'll have this. Okay, I think I may have something.
Mm. You have a rectangle and a circle.
I do acknowledge that I look mental when all I done is basically draw a circle and a rectangle. Like, I've had Eureka! I've done it. Yes, the secret to the cross product is within my reach. Okay. So basically, I think I have a decent interpretation. Let me think about it for a second though. Remco, you're still here.
Remco? Who's this? Who's the good puppy?
What the fuck have you sent in the memes channel?
What?
Right. Also, were you the one who was calling Remco Remkler? I don't remember who was calling Remco Remkler.
Remkler.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adrian.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I thought it was Adrian. I vaguely remember. Hold on. No, I got hyperfixated again. Remkler. No messages. Did I imagine it?
You made it up.
Calling you the Remkler. Oh, alright. Well, I guess I'm schizophrenic. Happens. I think I have a interpretation.
Can you beat Matter of Dimension? Like, isn't it possible?
I don't remember if I've done it or not. So basically, hear me out. When you take the cross product, you have this. If you think about this as giving you the... If you imagine it, right, as like something spinning on an orbit with a certain amount of spin and a certain size of the orbit, then you can think of the first term as giving you this r right here, and you can think of the second term as giving you this value right here.
Definitely listening to clown music right now.
Oh yeah, my clown music playlist finished off. I didn't even realize. There's one slight snag with this is that, well, actually no, there isn't. Well, this isn't really radius. This is more like naked radius. Let's call it, because it can be negative. It can
Make
flip.
it radius.
Make it radius, exactly. It's just like in physics, you have like dark energy, dark matter, you know, all of these dark things. So when physicists just find some equation doesn't work, they just chuck in dark in there and pretend that there is a... Oh no, there totally is the invisible thing that... Our theory works. There's just like this invisible thing that we can't see. That's actually...
Are you saying darks don't work?
What the fuck? No, you don't get to chuck all this off, no. I could test it with angular momentum actually. Because if my analogy is correct, then
If your calculations are correct.
yeah, if they are correct, then if we have an object spinning on an orbit a certain way, wait, no, this can't be it. Or can it? No, it can't. This would have to be multiplicative. Or would it? Yes. Yes, it would. But what if it didn't? A cross B equals AB sine theta. Theta is the angle between A and B. Viewing the vector perpendicular of A and B. Yeah. That's yucky. That's disgusting. No. No, I don't need the dot. This is yucky and disgusting because it requires you to think of vectors as arrows. I much prefer the other cross because this also has something. How does it describe the rotations? What if, and I'm just going on a limb here. What if we try moving the arrow so that its origin is actually right here? Here we go. What now? Oh, Eureka! This can go somewhere. Because now it's rotating left, crosses up. Rotating right, crosses down. It is not rotating at all, crosses null. It's rotating slightly, so cross is slight. As we increase it, increasing more. Now let's move it around a bit more, like this. Well, it will work in any plane. Doesn't make sense quite, is this. Maybe it does. I'm so close to just having the Eureka.
Urethra.
Yeah.
I found a my destruction.
What have you found?
If you click that link, it's a nice song, but then you look at the title. I was just like, why did it call that?
Why isn't it curl as well? I would expect curl. Not girl, curl. With a C.
Oh yeah, that's a G. Hmm.
Well, that makes sense.
These are all good songs. And the first one is for the clown music, the clown playlist.
I think this works.
Hmm.
I think it works. Questions why?
Hmm.
Cross of empty 21 is empty. So W V actually no, VW and we're calculating V cross W, which means since it will just be not everywhere else. No, actually that will be not likely. This will be X Y Y X.
Mm-hmm.
W minus W X Y Y X. Mm-hmm. So it's Vx X Y which means it is this multiplied by this. Once again, it's bringing me back to areas. Nothing like just sitting silently and pondering brilliant stream material.
Pondering your orbs.
I'm running out of orbs to ponder.
Mm. I have I have found something you might be interested in.
What have you found?
Mm,
Brilliant.
meow.
Is there any other multiplication? Is there any other interpretation of multiplication other than the area of a rectangle? There has to be.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to figure out why a certain equation represents a certain thing.
Hmm.
Can't quite figure it out though.
Oh. Okay, hear me out.
You make a compelling point.
See? You're still not making me fall asleep, which is honestly quite embarrassing of you.
Cause see, I'm thinking about the intuition behind the equality of a cross product. I don't know what else you want from me.
Because you fucking what did you just fucking intune me into a bed? Please? Well, I'm happy for I'm happy for your loss or so that happened, but I want to honk you me right now.
I'm, I'm listen. It's about as boring as it gets. I don't know what you want from me.
I've been awake for like 20 hours now, and your stream is still keeping me awake. Explain that.
The cutsy sentence starting with "Hear me out" sounds dangerous. Welcome to the expected. What are you trying to do, make it? I'm trying to explain why this equality describes a rotation in a way that's intuitive. Honestly, what I could do is I could just fall back on the del cross, because del cross is actually easier to explain than the cross on its own.
Mm-hmm.
The question of what happens if there is curvature. Or
Damn,
curl, rather.
that girl has curves.
Run it back to me, please. I was doing the classic zonouts. There isn't much to run back to you. I'm just thinking of what can multiplication represent other than area. If I find the correct interpretation, then that would be sorted. Because like this on its own already makes sense. This right here.
Okay, make it. Consider the following.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. I I have no idea. I'm just as clueless as a can of sardines right now. Yeah. Remco. The Rempler.
Hi there, Remco.
Greetings. Greetings. Why do you want the cross product again? What, what do you look into what do you see into the cross product that I don't?
Well, the entire video will be just about explaining the cross product.
Ah, fuck.
I can help with that.
Hell, I didn't even. There are, comically enough, there's gonna be 3 videos about rotations, and cross product is the
Only 3?
Yeah, but cross product is the only difficult one for me, which I find hilarious considering that the other 2 are trigonometry with complex numbers and quaternions. Cross product is the only one I'm uncertain on.
Yeah, but I don't think cross product is that much related to rotations.
It is. It really fucking is. If you wanna it really is though.
Great way to start a sentence.
Can you describe can you describe rotations by cross products? Only infinitesimally, right?
It doesn't matter. Hold on.
It all matter.
Let me find it. It's Quaternions course. I forgot what it was called. It's one of the first links. It might be this one. Is it this one? No, the short. We'll add the Nicola, right? One of these. Which one is the course on Quaternions? I have actually been. Maybe I have it in my downloads.
I know which paper you mean.
Yeah, I also know which video I mean because I've been going back to it every, I don't know, 3 months. Just clockwork. Love that YouTuber, by the way. No. Almost all my PDFs and my downloads are papers written by you.
Make it. Say
That's not
clockwork.
good.
Say clockwork, but remove the L. Relax. It's called catchy humor.
Okay. My goodness, that's a PDF. What even is this PDF? Oh my lord, that is an old paper of mine. Wow, 32 pages since. Why did it? No, you get.
You made it?
Yeah, but that's like 4 years ago, maybe 3. Okay, I have validly and absolutely lost the Quaternion paper, which means I need to
That's
find
older than like half your viewers.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
There was the equation. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna look at my own video because I have it in my own video and it's just easier.
Why don't you just use that as a reference?
Yeah, I've reached that point where I'm looking. I'm using my own video as a source.
Circular logic.
Yeah, we're talking about rotation. It applies. All right. So this equation right here is basically the. I forgot what it's called, but it is the equation that allows you to describe 3-dimensional rotations using quaternions. And the reason why cross is there is because cross is inherently useful when it comes to describing. I forgot which operation with quaternions, but there was just one that was inherently useful for describing, because when you're combining the, if I recall correctly, when you're combining the scalar part of a quaternion, dot product applies. When you're combining the vector part of a quaternion, the cross product applies because of its anti-commutative properties.
Yeah, I remember the 2 equations side to side.
which is why cross is inherently linked to. Because another way I could explain is I could explain with the curl, with the del, right? The del cross.
Mm-hmm. But that is also a cross product.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how I can explain the cross product. Because the del cross is trivial to explain, because all you effectively do is you just make a grid and show that at each point, in order to maximize the del, you just need to like increase the curl at each point. And honestly, that's an angle.
Angle.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of puns with this.
That is the way I know the cross product as a, like, it doesn't really describe rotations well. You can use it to describe infinitesimal rotations. So the generators thereof.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. If you look at the arrows I've drawn, right? These arrows, you can see that the first arrow is meant to represent like the radius of an orbit, and the second arrow is meant to represent the direction the orbit is going in. And then the resulting cross would then give you the rotation value of that, if you get what I mean. And
yeah, no, I see what you mean.
It tracks, because if you go really strong this way, then it's really high into the negative. If you go this way, then there is no rotation, despite the combination of them being high. And if you go the other way, then you flip the rotation value.
So you're telling me this is real math done by real mathematicians?
No, very much not. But the nice thing about this is that if I am not mistaken, if my theory holds 3D cursor, there we go. That's actually really nice. Yeah, then rotating it around the axis does not change the value at all, because the rotation stays the same.
As it should.
Exactly. Rotating this, however, flips you over and over. Rotating this also flips you over and over.
A pseudo vector.
Yeah, let's call it that. I have no idea what the pseudo vector is.
A vector that doesn't transform like a vector.
Vector? What did you just say?
A pseudo vector is a vector that doesn't transform like a vector.
By the way, I'm really pleased that I found the what's it called? The apartness relation. I'm really pleased.
That stupid thing is so useless.
Nothing useless. It's great. It's great.
It's great to be a category theorist.
No, it's not useless. It's great. The only problem is that no one fucking knows about it. And so when people want to
because it's useless.
No, because when you want to say that two things are not equal, then you need to use the apartness relation, not the not equal sign. Because
you can also use the not equal sign.
No, because okay, so if I say that you have a set of spheres, right, and a set of cubes, then if you pick a sphere and a cube, they're not equal. Then you need to say that I need to represent that with an apartness relation. Because no sphere will ever be equal to a cube.
Yeah, but you can also just say for any sphere in the set of spheres and any cube in the set of cubes, cube is not equal to sphere.
Yeah, but
which is
by that
literally
logic,
like 6 symbols.
Yeah, but by that logic, we might as well also check out the window the not equal sign and just say the equality and just add the word not before it.
That's the fucking point of the not
equality. Is less lines of code, therefore makes it like it.
The equality means not equal.
Yeah, but that's what.
Wait, the inequality means not equal.
Yeah, exactly. But there is a reason why we have the NEQ character instead of just saying not and then writing the equality.
Because it's shorter.
Exactly. The same fucking logic applies to the apartness relation.
I do not like it.
I like it. It's a brilliant character because it's the unequal sign with one extra slash. It's beautiful. Honestly,
No. I hate it. I fundamentally hate it.
Honestly, if I was making the equalities, then I would just do them like this. just that you would have options
They don't even
On a-
slanted at the same rate.
on a range of how equal to how unequal something is. This is what I would do. Where at the top you have the equivalent, which means literally the same thing. Then you have equal. Then you have relation. Then you have not equal, and then you have actually no one I'm missing for the sake of aesthetics.
You need a two-dimensional one for this one.
There we go.
So what you're saying is relation is at the bottom.
I don't know. But I don't know what your beef with the a partner's relation is. It is.
I still don't see its purpose.
Its purpose is so that you. Its purpose is something you should fucking intimately understand, because its purpose is that you don't have to write 3 extra syllables. And considering how you belong to a group which invented adding a fucking dot on top of a
You
letter.
feel like you fucking do set theory.
No. Considering how Remco is part of a group that invented adding a dot on a fucking letter just so that they wouldn't have to write 3 extra characters, I feel like Remco would very much be on the side of the apartheid relation. Goddamn hypocrite!
Give me an example and write that down again with the apartness relation.
You have set S and you have set C. You have element lowercase s belongs to S, lowercase c belongs to C, and then you can say that lowercase s apartness relation lowercase c.
Okay, but
Liberal.
this is literally the same thing as using an equality sign, because you're specifying an S or you're saying an arbitrary S, doesn't matter. You're specifying your C of your set, and now you're just saying they're not equal.
Okay, so counter to that, let's say that I want the same exact thing, but instead of noting down that they're never equal, I want to note down that they may or may not be equal. What do I do then?
Why would you want to write that down?
Well,
You can just consider C
I don't
and
know. For
S.
example, I want to note that down because S is a set of matrices and C is a set of matrices, just different matrices.
Oh, and you don't
And-
want them to be commuting, or you may want them to be commuting.
Yeah, exactly. So, what then? Huh? How do I note that down?
Well, what
Your
you do is
argument is broken because it's just based on a layer of falsehoods and grievances.
No. You are just tunnel visioning into the apartheid relationship.
It's a partners you group point.
Yes.
I think it's
See, that's
brilliant.
inherently evil.
I've genuinely had the problem of the inequality meaning two things for such a long time, and I just found a solution to it, and I'm happy. Because it's not me finding a character and they'd be like, oh, that character's cool. No, I was specifically looking for that character. And I've been looking for... When was the first time, by the way, brought it up, the not equality thing? Because it was a while back
long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while back ago. So it's not as if it's a problem I invented for the sake of a character. No, like that, I've genuinely had that problem in a lot of my videos.
But this whole search was just your misconception of the equality sign or the inequality sign.
No, because what you said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that what you said is that inequality sign represents that things can be not equal or can be equal. Which is why
yes.
AB, not equal BA, because if A is equal to B, then they will be equal. So this is what you said, right? Because if that is the case, then that means we don't have a character to represent true inequality, like inequality that happens in every scenario, which would be solved by the apartheid relation. Because then
what you can, if you wanted to be not equal for every matrix, the only thing you do is for all A and B.
Yeah, but exactly that's the thing. Like you are right now just trying to pull your argument with basically a hypocritical approach, because what you are right now saying, as a physicist, is that we don't need a new character for this because we can just wrote down more stuff.
Yeah, but it's even better because I don't write down that extra stuff. It's left implied. So yeah, this equation means it's never equal. Just as it is.
It's
Just like the implications.
it's either it's that's at that point. I think we should replace the equality, inequality, and all of those characters with just a single line, which just means related, and then the inequalities are left implied. In this scenario, obviously, A times B is greater than B times A. It was left implied.
Did you just draw a minus sign?
Yeah, no, it's
Because that's the
slightly.
definition of the
It's slightly longer than a minus sign. That's the difference. That's the
Or the
relation.
difference is left implied.
Oh, the difference is left implied. I think you're just being a hater because I love the
Yeah,
the
I am
apartheid-
being a hater.
I love the apartheid
That-
relation, and you can't change my mind on that because it's just
Not only is it an ugly symbol,
it's a beautiful
it's also
symbol.
called the apartness. A part of what?
Well, the two things are apart. They're always apart. They're never equal.
No! No, that gives too much flashbacks.
You're just mad because you did like colonialism. Your country did the colonialism, and now you're just sore. Sucks
People
to suck.
erase every mention or any reference to it.
Sucks to suck. You shouldn't have done the colonialism.
What our university, look how rich they are.
Oh, fucking hell.
I take that back.
Yeah, good. You better take that back. You know what? You can fuck off. I'm gonna specifically find points in my videos to use the apartness relation, and I'm gonna use the apartness I'm gonna write them in. I'm going to add just extra bits to the videos just to use the apartness relation.
Are we really going to fight over this? Is this our first fight in the relationship?
It has to be a thing, alright?
No.
Colonialism versus the apartheid relation. Exactly figure. I am on the side of the apartheid relation and Remco's on the side of colonialism.
Don't phrase it like that.
Hey, you're the one defending the colonialism. Who am I?
This is defamation.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I am just arguing that the symbol is absolutely unnecessary, and you guys are just talking about colonialism.
You're the one who brought in apartheid into this. I did not make the
This is
exactly.
similar
we
to
don't-
apartheid.
We don't make the rules, Remco. That's
Alright, this person is getting a ban.
no, they aren't.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm getting demoted.
We need. I do like this character though. It's not often that I have a set and very specific issue, and I find like the exact solution I'm looking for. I don't even know what to compare it to exactly. It's just exact like what I needed.
I am going to start a cult just defaming that character in your videos. Every comment section, it will only be about that stupid symbol.
Even when it's not there. Just it will be the new loss meme, where instead of the many lines, as long as there are like 2 lines crossing another 2 lines, that's an apartheid relation reference. Whenever I have the opportunity in my videos to make 2 lines cross another 2 lines in my animations, I will, just to include an extra apartheid relation.
Oh my goodness. Dude, this channel is going broke soon. This is not good for your viewership.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna go broke. You know why? Because the big mathematics is out there trying to silence me, trying to silence the apartness relation. I would also like to mention that the article in which I found the apartheid relation was written by a theoretical physicist. You're right now on the side of big maths, Remco. So I would suggest you reconsider your stance.
I am on the side of big maths.
Yeah.
Well, we are talking about a thing made by a category theorist.
No, it was described by a category theorist, which I mean, yeah, what wasn't?
I'm just still arguing the inequality sign with left implications are just working fine.
I ain't stretch for
You're-
this one.
Unbelievable. This is going the wrong way. I need to give you more alcohol.
Absolutely hypocritical.
You don't understand.
This is gonna become the new pancakes versus waffles, and I don't enjoy these memes anymore. The apartness versus inequality. I don't want this to be a meme. It's gonna be horrendous. Make an argument of being wrong. Thank you, figure. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that, figure. Thank you. All right. So, I think there is a way. I think there is a way to nail down.
As long as it does not
fundamentals.
include one of those stupid hashtags.
There is a way. There is a path. There is an angle. So, if in the video we start by talking about the information required to describe rotations, which is axis direction and magnitude, then we talk about I think the del cross, honestly, because del cross just shows you the idea of curl using the same operation as the cross, and then we can two-dimensional cross, which value would be a scalar, and then three-dimensional cross like this, which at the end would give us a way to I wasn't convinced at first. Wrong with enough time, you'll come around. Exactly. This could be enough.
Did you just hashtag an hashtag?
Actually, not equal and then hash is a valid statement. What's funny is that, hold on, not equal symbol. What's funny is that the not equal hash is valid, just like not equal hash is valid, but they mean two different things. Hashtag supremacy of the apartness. Yeah. Actually, no. The second
but-
one is. Yeah, no, they are.
What even does it mean to have two equality sign? That's coding.
What did you just say?
What does it mean to have two equality signs? You know,
Two
or
equal signs.
not equality signs, inequalities.
Well, it's saying that not equality is not equal to the apartness relation.
Ah, like this.
Yeah.
What the hell? We're doing math on symbols now?
Actually, no. This wouldn't be correct though, because there are certain points at which. Wait, no, it would be. Yeah, no, it was.
I mean, yeah, this one would be wrong.
Which one?
The one, the not equal hashtag.
No, it would be correct because there is overlap between them, but they're not equal. Just like f is not equal to g, just because at certain points f is equal to g. If we're talking about f and g as being functions.
Oh right, it's going the other way. Fuck.
So if we're talking about evaluating for specific things, then yeah, it wouldn't be valid. But in general, it is. Another example of the ambiguity actually is that if you have function f and function g of x, right, then you can say that you have f of x not equal to g of x, and then you can say f of x is apart from g of x. And everyone here already knows what the difference between the two is. It's a
Oh, but this is wrong.
No, it makes sense.
No, this is wrong.
These
Because you're
are-
evaluating it.
Yeah.
What you need,
yeah,
what
no,
you want to write is hashtag G.
No. These two are just two different logical sentences. If the first one is referring to a function, like for example, f of x is equal to x squared and g of x is equal to x, and the second one would be referring to something like f of x is equal to 5 and g of x is equal to 4. So the top one tells you that they may be not equal, they may be equal. The bottom one tells you that they never cross.
No, what I'm saying is this notation is wrong because you're evaluating it at the point x, which means the bottom statement right now is saying f evaluated at x is never equal to g evaluated at x,
Yes.
where x is supposed to be fixed, which means that just describes one point, which means they are equal. What you want to write is you don't want a bracket notation. You want f never equal to g. What that means is that at every evaluated point, your functions do not necessarily have to be equal. Do you see what I mean?
I don't think so.
Right now, what you're doing is you're comparing numbers. You're comparing numbers on the real line, but what you want is you want to compare functions.
No. I specifically talk about comparing numbers. So in this scenario, well, like the top one is meant to refer that no matter what x you pick, well, the top one says that no matter what x you pick, they can be equal or not equal. The bottom is telling you that no matter what number you pick, they will never be equal. So you cannot find an x that will make them equal on the bottom one, whereas at the top one you can find an x that will make them equal. So
Yeah,
for
but that means
example-
you are talking about the functions.
Yeah, so at the top one, if you say x is equal to 1, then they will be equal. If you say x is equal to 2, then they will not be. When it comes to the bottom one, no matter what x you pick, they will never be equal. So
Yes.
they are
So
evaluated.
what you want to write down is f not equal to g without the brackets, because you want to talk about them as functions in your function space.
No, I want to talk about them being evaluated. So this is meant to be an evaluated number, and this is meant to be an evaluated number.
But then you need to fix. Then you're fixing x, and when you're fixing x, that means you can't talk about for any x anymore.
Okay, so if I want to talk about them being evaluated and then for any x, well, can I just note down for any x?
Yeah, for arbitrary x then. But that is writing more words for the same thing.
Well, yeah, but you know, if you if you think that this on its own isn't sufficient, then we do need to write more.
No, you need to write less. That's what I'm saying. What you want to write is f not equal to g without the bracket x.
Yeah, but f is not equal without the bracket. That also is different because that would also apply to the top one, wouldn't it? Like x isn't equal.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the hashtag is useless here.
Okay, so all right. How would you then note down that you have a function f, function g, and they never cross? Because what you just said right now is that if we want to write a different logical statement, then the hash is useless. Which I mean, yeah, if you want to write a different logical statement, it would be. Because this right here tells you that f and g never cross. Because no matter what x you pick. So if you want to be even more specific, we can also do this. And then, I don't know, pick whatever it is you wish, I suppose, rules.
I would... Okay. Maybe I finally see the problem now.
Yeah, exactly. It's the inequality. Like, I got what you meant when you said that inequality and equality aren't equal. I suppose very poetic. Where like equality by default implies the opposite of what the inequality implies. Where when it comes to equality, by default it implies always equal. Where you have to specify that it's not always equal. With inequality, it by default specify that it doesn't have to be not equal. You have to specify. But like the equivalence allows you to specify it on its own. So then inequality, the only thing I don't enjoy about this is that it is still like asymmetric, where for some reason equality always implies by default that it holds, whereas inequality doesn't. But it's a method.
Hold up. I think this is... Yeah, okay, fuck, I hate to admit it, but it kind of does make sense.
Yeah, it's genuinely, like, it clears it up.
I mean...
Because the entire idea here is that you can just have, like, you know, a whole bunch of... Okay, so when it comes to notation, right, like, there are a couple of things we want, and in my opinion, the three most important parts of notation are clarity, convenience, and specificity. So convenience just means that we want to have as little notation as possible, the dot of a derivative. Then you have the specificity, which means that it has to be specific, no ambiguity, and clarity, so ideally you wouldn't want to overlap different ones. So if I note down this, you can see that all of these refer to a different thing. Like, you can know by default like what the difference would be between all of them if you see them somewhere, which I think means that it is a really good mathematical symbol. So if you have matrix AB not equal to BA, then all you know about your A and B is that they are matrices. But if you have AB apart from BA, then you get extra information, because now you know that that this doesn't apply to all matrices. So we're talking about certain specific ones. We're excluding the ones for which A and B would be equal.
Wait, you're saying you're excluding the ones that are equal?
Yeah, because like effectively, Jesus, is gonna be abuse of notation. Effectively, AB apart from BA is equal to this in brackets is equal to AB not equal to BA minus AB equal to BA. There we go. The most sane logical state. Which
I mean, this works set-wise.
it doesn't work setwise. It's all...
But now you're using it in such a way that it's not necessary.
Yeah, it's not necessary if you just like, but by the same definition, you know, inequality sign is also not necessary.
Because the full statement here would be for A and B in the matrix space, consider this. Consider the AB hashtag BA.
I mean, yeah, it's, you know, it's not necessary, but almost none of the math notation is necessary under that light. Like, you can always just note it down. You can always note stuff down with words, but the whole point of map notation is that you don't have to. So that you can just note it down in a single character.
Okay, I may be a physicist, but I am one that did a bachelor in mathematics, so I like to define my stuff.
Yeah, but the point
Which
is
is
the point is that you ideally, if you have a sentence or a character, and both these mean the same thing, you preferably use the character for the sake of clarity, and for the sake of convenience.
Yeah, but you need to define your. You would have to define your objects regardless, which means you always have the for A and B in the matrix space.
But you can, no, not always. You don't have to always define them. So let's say that without any context, all I tell you is that f and g are functions of x, right? And then I will tell you that f is apart from g. On its own, you will know that what it means is that there is no x at which f of x is equal to g of x. Whereas if I told you that f of x is not equal to g of x, then you will know that there is at least one point for which they're not equal. You don't know if it applies to all points. So in this scenario, I didn't have to specify what functions I'm talking about specifically, because the character did the specifying for me. So the character in this scenario
you did specify what functions you had by writing it as x. What I meant with specify what you have is not like writing an explicit equation. I meant it as saying that your functions are part of some space. Like in this case, it's a function from real numbers to real numbers, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean, specifying.
Yeah. I mean, but then this still works. If I specify f and g as map of real to real, then these two logical statements convey different information.
It depends on how you use it, then I guess.
Because if every character in maths depends on how you use it, but in my opinion, it's
no, because in this case, yes, it makes sense. But in the case of writing AB hashtag BA,
same principle.
No. Because what you wanted to have is you wanted to consider only all the matrices that are never equal. But in that case, it literally doesn't matter from saying like, okay, consider matrices that are not, with a not equality sign. It's literally the same thing. It's only making the notation more confusing.
I could do the same thing here. I could just say consider all functions which are not equal at any point.
Yes, but now you're talking about when you're talking about considering functions, it makes no sense because it's the same. It takes the same amount of notation to write it down. But when you're actually considering them as a relation, it makes sense.
Okay, so what the apartness symbol, what I would like it to represent, is that when you have some object, right? You have apart object. Oh, we've already used something. I know. Apart object Q and R, right? When you note down apart, then what this basically should say, in my opinion, is that any object fulfilling the criteria of being a Q will never be equal to any object fulfilling the criteria of being an R. That's what this should mean. So if you have some kind of function f, and if you have some kind of function g, if you note down f apart from g, that means that from now on we're talking about any object that can be a function f will never be equal to any object that's a function g. And if we're talking about specifically those functions evaluated, then that carries over. Any evaluation of function f will never be equal to that evaluation of function g. We did also do it at the point x, but we can go even further. We can say like if you have f of a and g of b, then any object fulfilling the requirement of being function f evaluated at point a will never be equal to evaluation of function g at point b. Which in this scenario would be even stronger, because in that scenario it would mean that function f can never achieve any value that can be achieved by function b if you use the apartness relation. To me, it seems like a really useful character for that reason. Like it's very, at least in my head, it's very clear what it does. Like the logical statement, it is very clear, because you know when you do the inequality, then that's a different kind of worms. Because if I say that f of a is not equal to g of b, then unless I specifically specify otherwise, this would just mean that they may or may not be equal.
I mean, if you add for all a and for all b, then
yeah, but
I
that's
guess
what
that is the hashtag translation.
Yeah, but that's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that adding for all a and for not b all of a sudden makes this character be unconditional. I don't like the fact that on its own it means equal or not equal, but specifying the things makes it exclusively not equal. Because that to me like changes the meaning of the character depending on the context. Not even the context it's in. It's changing the meaning of the character depending on what you're comparing. It's basically like I don't know how to would be good points. Like imagine if greater than for real numbers, right, a and b, worked differently than evaluated functions. That's how I see it. Or like effectively, these are both just like, you know, elements of some field, right? Evaluated functions or just straight up elements of the field. They're both effectively elements of the field. So in my head, the meaning of the character shouldn't change. But with the unequal sign, it does change. Because on the very beginning, you have non-exclusive, not equal. But then if you specify something not related to the character, only related to the things it's comparing, then all of a sudden it becomes an exclusive not equal. Man, that's confusing as fuck.
What do you mean with it becomes an inclusive unequal?
Where
Exclusive unequal, I mean?
Where right now, if I just do fa not equal to gb, then this means that f of a can be equal or can be not equal to gb. It means that it's not necessarily equal, effectively. That's what it means. Right now.
No, but this equation means f of a is not equal. The number f of a is not equal to the number g of b.
Okay, what if I want?
Like, this is not a statement about f and g.
Okay, what if I want to note down that it's not necessarily equal then?
F not equal g.
Okay.
I mean, it's what you're trying to say, yes.
But if I
get your point.
if I do actually have some specific, like, you know, if some condition actually applies to A and F and G and B, if they are required there, then it's ambiguity. It's ambiguity I don't like.
What I'm noticing, in order for your hashtag to work, what you need is a functional dependence. So you need a function or something that depends on something else, so that you can talk about like evaluated at every point.
Mm-hmm.
But for real numbers, it doesn't really work. It's not different from the inequality sign, because the numbers don't depend on anything.
Yeah. But my point here isn't that it should replace. Well, obviously it isn't that it should replace the inequality sign. What I want you to realize is like my point is that the symbol shouldn't change what it represents based on what it's operating on. And I mean, it can obviously, but it shouldn't, because then it makes things really confusing. So in this scenario, whenever you see the symbol of inequality, you need to first think about the context it's in, and only then you can figure out what it means, which in my opinion makes it for a pretty poor like symbol. Because if you see equality somewhere, then you don't actually need to know what is equal to what for you to know that what the equality means. The equality always means the same thing regardless of what it's comparing. Hi the buff, hi. So that's specifically why on the bottom, like I did it with objects, where any object fulfilling the criteria Q being apart from any object fulfilling the criteria R will never be equal. That, in my opinion, would be a proper definition of the apartness relation, and definition that is useful and just convenient. Because then, as long as you specify something on the left, specify something on the right, and write the apartness, then the reader knows that those things will never be the same as long as the criteria are fulfilled. Hi, the Panzer. Hi. Sorry to intrude. No, don't be sorry. We're on a tangent. Quite a tangent, in fact.
Quite a tangent, holy shit.
Apartness theorem. I wouldn't call it a theorem. It's more... I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
It's a matter of notation rather than anything. There is no... That's the thing. When it comes to like the inequality, equality, and apartness character issue, it's not an issue of actual like mathematics, because the underlying mathematics doesn't change. It's just like an issue of how to represent it so that people reading it have an easier time. Hash. Yes, the basic idea Panzer being that isn't that a pound sign? No, so wrong on so many levels. Pound, I think, is an L, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the basic issue. Okay, so Panzer. let me set the scene for you.
Here we go again.
When you have two matrices, A and B, and you multiply A times B, that is a valid logical statement. The reason why is because multiplication for matrices is not commutative, which means that A times B doesn't have to be equal to B times A. My issue was that this means A times B doesn't have to be equal to B times A. It doesn't mean not equal to. Because if your A is equal to B,
No, but
then
this is still wrong. I don't like this notation. No.
The thing I'm struggling with is why you don't like the notation.
Because what it is saying is AB is not equal to BA. But there is no information about B and A.
Yes.
Man, how am I still awake? What's fucking wrong with you?
So what you're implicitly doing is there exists an A, or there exists a B, or for all A, for all B, something like that. That's what you're implicitly doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, what you're explicitly doing is there exists an A and there exists an B such that this equation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean, but don't you see how that introduces ambiguity? Because what I want you to realize is that implicitly, yeah, I am doing that, but I could also implicitly be doing for all instead of there exists. Like you can deduce, that's true, you can deduce which one I'm doing, but there's no way for you to actually know where I'm going with this.
I know, but that's the point I'm trying to make. In order to have equations like this, you need to define what A and what B are, or like if you're talking about all of them or just a single one. Or, yeah, just in this case, matrices is also important. So
I see what you mean, but yeah, and then the inequality would just mean inequality.
yeah. So yeah, what you're saying is there exists an A and there exists this is equal, and that's true. That's a logical statement.
Oh, I find it. Oh, but that's so awful because then by default, like this is for equality, whereas this is for inequality. That's horrendous. Who is? Ah, wait, sorry. I wrote the A for thing backward. By the way, I wrote an E. This is horrendous. Whose idea is it?
I'm telling you, like, but there's always like, if you want to make a global statement, you always need to specify if you're talking about all arbitrary or just a single one. And like the same holds with your hashtag, in which case you're talking about for all A and for all B, this equation holds that AB not equal to BA. But if you specifically want to talk about AB that are not equal to BA, then what you do is consider any
Yeah, no, you're
A
right.
or B such that this equation holds.
Yeah, no, you're right. So like the character representing inequality really is just inequality. So if you have AB not equal to BA, that means AB is not equal to BA. It's just that implicitly, when it comes to inequality, the default is that you say there exists A, not for all. You're right.
Yes. Which is annoying.
It is horrendous. I mean, I suppose. Okay, I see that like in science papers is not an issue because that then you always do for all or there exists.
Yeah.
But my lord, inequality is used way too often outside of rigorous science papers for this to be a default.
Yes. But that's also what I meant with what your way of explaining it works if you have a parameter dependence. Because when you have a parameter dependence, you're talking about two objects that like can change their value depending on where they are evaluated. And in that case, your hashtag is actually, admittedly, begrudgingly, useful.
No. Even then it can be because like if you have f of a, and then not equal to g of b, then you would still specify what a and b are. You would still specify either for all A or there exists a B. In which case, it's still you can still specify like you can still use the inequality then, because if you specify for all A and for all B, then the inequality does mean a true inequality. They never cross at any point, because no matter what A and what B pick, once again, stronger than never cross at any point. It just means that is.
But what you can then do is write a very short annotation for this. As in F hashtag G.
I mean, yeah, but I feel, you know what? No. I'm changing my mind actually with this one because then the notation becomes problematic. Because in order for the hashtag to work, I mean, it could be maybe a time saver, but then that would introduce ambiguity the other way, where inequality would then have more weight for the for any, which I always write backwards for some reason. For the for any, which I don't like. That's an implication. I think that's counterproductive.
That's also not for any.
That's not for any. Which one is it?
There exists A.
There exists. There we go. There exists A. Sorry. This is.
I mean, but okay, your notation could work if you say like consider F and G such that F hashtag G. Like in written script. That would be a valid way of using it. Because then you immediately know that F and G do not cross. There is no single point of evaluation where they are equal.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not as if there is no way to make this notation useful, but this is not a hill I'm willing to die on at this point, because like I see now that inequality doesn't actually change its meaning. Like I'm honestly right now, yeah, no, I see the point. I'm changing my mind on this. Make it, what is the hash though? The inequality for inequality. So what I thought that equality represented true equality. Things are always equal. Inequality represented inequality, as in things can be equal, doesn't have to be. And I thought that apartness would mean that they're always not equal. But you can achieve the same exact thing by just specifying what you're talking about. And then equality and inequality fulfill the same purpose as the apartness. I mean, to be honest, at this point, yeah, that scenario is actually not bad, because I see that my original problem isn't a problem then. If I say A, B not equal to B, A, then it is implied that I'm talking about an A and B that exist. They can be not equal. Yeah, this is better. It's clearer. I like it.
I hate to break it to you. I know it will probably feel like losing a child or something.
No, because it solves the problem I've been having. It's good. The original problem I was having is that I thought that A, B, not equal BA is ambiguous, but it isn't. You know specifically I mean, it's implied, but like, you know, we're doing theoretical physics. Who gives a shit?
Yes. Okay. In written script is absolutely redundant. Let's say it like that.
Yeah. The apartness then. Also, another thing I would like to mention, also just to cover our bases, is that we've been assuming that's what apartness means because no one actually had the word
Bother to read?
No one bothered to read the the definition because it was a definition certainly.
Should I have a look? Because it's an inequality, which is annoying.
My guess, but I am just I am conceding my point. I think inequality works just fine. I have to listen back to this. There is yeah.
It is literally the negation of the equality. Which, huh?
If it's a negation of the equality, then if you're using if you're using that equality by default implies that you're talking about all, then it would work the way we think it does.
No, if it's the negation of the equality, and equality is like, for example, saying for all x, f is equal to g, or fx is equal to f, gx, then the negation of that is there exists a single x for which this does not hold. Which means that's entirely the opposite of your statement.
So when you say it's a negation of equality, is it a negation of all the logical statements relating to that equality, or just the equality itself?
Oh, actually, never mind. I am wrong. It's okay. Fuck, I read it wrong. It's used to distinguish from the negation of equality. In which case, yes, it's probably what we think it is.
Okay.
Holy shit! I fumbled.
What a tangent. I'm adding it to the list of how math becomes difficult too, which is before we cover even addition or multiplication. I first need to do a section on equalities and inequalities. Just
Oh, that will be logic dense.
I find it hilarious, by the way, how much there is to say before you even reach like maps.
Uh-huh.
Because even with addition and multiplication, it's already pages long. The entire video obviously will not be talking about elements of fields because that's too specific. We'll just be talking about objects. What happens when you when you have objects? I hate to say it, but like my my involvement in this community with every passing day is bringing me closer and closer to category theory, and it's
not good.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't think I hate it anymore. I see. I feel like it's like an eldritch horror just crawling into my mind.
Don't tell me we're losing you.
I genuinely like. I've been, by the way, talking about objects for such a long time. Only recently have I learned that's a genuine category theory term.
Which one?
Objects.
Object, yeah.
Yeah, the entire time I was talking about objects. I had no idea it was a category theory thing. Which...
I mean, you can also talk about not, like... Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a class whose elements are called objects. Which is exactly how I've been using objects without knowing it.
Yeah, but it's like a nice way of generalizing, like, whatever you're talking about, matrices, vectors, or whatever.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's the point of category theory, isn't it? When you want to generalize to the extreme.
Yeah.
Which it might warrant a look into.
No. You know, my worst problem with this universe is that it somehow has found a way that category theory is actually applicable in physics. But yeah, so to have broken your heart.
I'm not heartbroken. My problem's fixed. I'm fine.
That's good. In that case, I will be shoo away again, and I will do some stringy.
Okay, this was so funny because Katsi mumbled something right as you were saying it, and it just looked like Katsi were so happy you were leaving because they were just clapping their hands. Because Katsi has the animation whenever they talk. And it just looked like as if you said, okay, I'm gonna be leaving, and Katsi was just excitedly clapping their hands. Alright, well,
Nice.
good luck on your scientific endeavors.
Yeah, you too. Let me know if you invent another fake object that we can debunk.
See what I meant, by the way, about like the thing I've written about you on the website?
What?
The thing I've written about you on the website. See what I meant? See how that applies? Do you still want to tell me that I am incorrect? Yeah, alright.
I see the problem.
Alright, well...
Alright, good luck.
For everyone who doesn't know, there is an about page on the website in which I thank people. And about Remco I have said, talking with Remco is really a fair bit infuriating, because he has this seeming attitude of being the smartest person in the room, always thinking he's 3 steps ahead, going through life with confidence that he knows everything he needs to know and will figure out anything he doesn't. The worst part being that I find it difficult to prove him wrong, considering how he really is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, and does manage to stay at least 4 steps ahead in any situation, which is just a beautiful application of what I just said. Being very, very, very annoyingly correct and correct is a horrendous combination, but he was correct. Are we discussing the fundamental definition of equality? No. No. We're just having a notational discussion. So, no, yeah. So, a simple question. What do we even need to specify a rotation? So, let's say that we have 2 spinning.
Alright, I'm gonna go sleep finally.
Alright, good night, see ya.
Cheers to you. Don't say good night, off. That's just rude.
Alright, bad day. Piss off. There, better? That's what I thought. There we go. Alpha and our objects, but whatever. Alpha and beta could be a bit misleading because they refer to angles. Usually Greek letters are not object and are prime object. No, but then with characters, it's always something. I want this to be clear. Make it as big. Yeah, damn right I am. I'm the bigger man. What can I say? First, this way, and second spinning that way. Now, this is the minimum of information required us to specify the rotation exactly. Well, we do these 2 things: axis around which they are spinning and the magnitude, the amount of spin. Gee whiz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm working on 7 videos at the same time. Unless I finish the harmonic oscillator today, in which case it's only gonna be 6. Alright. How long has the stream been going on, by the way? Because the stream crashed and I don't... It would appear around 2 hours. Alright. So, I think that'll be it. For now. Because I gotta go and eat some breakfast, make some more coffee, and get back to work. I hope you all enjoyed our today's discussion. And for now, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.